write what we desire and prefer, and no one censors our thoughts. We vote as we please, and when the election is over, newly elected representatives take over peacefully, and we come together as Americans and abide by the rule of law. Yes, Morgan, Ernest, Edward more than succeeded, and they had just been ordinary young men who lived in this quiet, tree-covered town, probably walked these very streets, passed through Interlaken's noteworthy gates as you and I do today. It is unlikely that any of our current residents knew these men, but it is our task this morning to confirm our gratitude to these heroes and to be sure that their sacrifices will not be forgotten. Those who were here with us last year, oh, by the way, you can sit down. My mistake, actually. There's a couple of seats. Anybody like to get off their feet, please do so. Those of us who were with us last year may recall that our guest speaker, a fellow named Luke Parisi, well known and well liked by many people, was the commander of Asbury Park VFW Post 1333. We introduced him by pointing out that his only obvious defect was the fact that he had selected Lock Harbor in lieu of Interlaken when he relocated from North Jersey. Well, through various divinely directed incidents, that commander gave up his VFW position, and he was replaced by an Interlaken resident. Please welcome Joe Kenny, a combat veteran of the Vietnam War, who actually resides on Windermere Avenue and who now commands Asbury Park VFW Post 1333.
Joe. I'm not really very good at public speaking, but that'll be good because I'm kind of keyed in on brevity, and we'll get coffee a little earlier. Joseph Kenny, I'm the post commander, 1333, Asbury Park, and a 15-year Interlaken resident. Today we're here celebrating early Veterans Day. Asbury Park, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our post and what we do there. We remember. It's our job to remember every day. It's our job to support the widows, orphans, fellow veterans who have been injured, need assistance. It's our job to go out and visit veterans' hospitals and remember. What we do is remember. Keep the life alive of the veterans, what they've done for us and for our country. The post in Asbury Park was built in 1905. It was a National Guard post that was operated by the state government up until 1960. But at that time, prior to that time, in World War I, it was a company of the 115th Infantry Division that was made up of residents from Interlaken, Asbury Park, Neptune, and Deal. And they went over as a unit from that building in 1917 to France. And out of that group was 171 soldiers that were there. Out of that group, 25 were killed. The amazing thing is they were killed with less than a month of the war to go. They were in the Argonne Offensive, which took place in October. The 25, all of them were killed within 3 days of each other, and the war ended less than 30 days later. But they paid a huge price, and again, it was mentioned, that price is as to what we have today. And it's our responsibility every day to remember the people who are out there at this very moment, who are defending our way of life. People who will give up their life today, maybe today, tomorrow, but certainly within a day, are there right now defending us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the veterans that have gone before us, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the First World War, the hundreds of thousands of people, men and women, that have given their lives for us so that we can maintain our way of living. And to them I say, job well done, continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Good luck with your VFW assignment.
Thank you.
I know it's a big job. And tell Lou Parisi we still love him even though he's over in Lockhart. Our next speaker is a pretty well-known guy around town. He is here representing all of our residents, which is what he does just about all the time. May I introduce a real native of Interlaken who grew up in the borough and who, by the state of renovations underway at his new house, currently intends to stay with us for quite a while to come. With his remarks, Mayor Wolf will announce the names of each living Interlaken veteran which we have been able to identify. If that veteran is present, please answer your name with a wave of your hand or stand up or yell out or something so that we can recognize you. Mayor Wolf, the people of Interlaken are awaiting you.
Every October, Mr. Mitchell comes to council and asks permission to have this day, and I keep telling him he doesn't have to ask permission, but he still comes and asks, and of course we come here. He also is kind enough to prepare for me comments with the names, and he also every year reminds me to say the names slowly so people have time to raise their hands, so I will work at that as well. On the heels of Mr. Kenny's remarks, there are a number of residents who are not veterans that do think of the services you've given to your country so that we have more than just on Veterans Day. I'm one of them, and I know a lot of others. I can honestly say that when I see the folks I see here today, who I also see them at meetings, there is a respect and reverence for the service you've given to our country so that we have what we have here in Interlaken. That's certainly not lost on me, your council, and even a number of people I know who can't be here today. So for them and on behalf of me, thank you. Today, as always, we express our gratitude to those who have served our country in conflicts past and those who are serving in several theaters of war today. Each November, we come together to honor and express our appreciation to our neighbors who have defended our country. We cannot but note the obvious growth of the list of veterans who are serving in exotic but very dangerous places, and our appreciation for what our servicemen and women have done and are doing knows no bounds. Veterans Day is one of the days that reminds us we cannot take the other 364 for granted.